The Painful Excellence Podcast.
Absolutely. Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Excellence Podcast. Come on in, smash the like button. Make sure you subscribe to all of my channels. That is Drew Titan LLC. That is the Painful Excellence Podcast. That is Bear Cave Entertainment. Matter of fact, let me put in the link to Bear Cave Entertainment. Be so kind to subscribe to all of my channels. Let's not leave it up to Miguel to do anything for us, because if it's not for him, they're going to do what they do. Rod Neal, Amina, salute Queen. Hen Dog, salute. Well, we're going to talk about it. Big Joe Townsend, salute. Pinball player, salute. Come on in, smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let me say this. This is a case of I told you so. This is a case of the chickens definitely coming home to roost. This is y'all fault. When I say y'all, who am I talking about? Well, if y'all been paying attention, you don't have to be deeply politically inclined to see what's going on. They're talking about the SNAP benefits. Otis, what up? The SNAP benefits being discontinued possibly next month. And we got a lot of threats. And who do we have threats from? Our queens. Now, I've been seeing a lot of women. Can I ask y'all a question before I go on this, before I proceed with the show? How many men have you seen on TikTok talking about they finna go rob something because of the SNAP benefits that might not be available in November? How many men? I'm asking. I'm just saying because I haven't seen it. Haven't seen it. Dula, what up? Maybe there has been. Maybe there's been like somebody on TikTok, some dude talking about, hey man, if you kill Snap, I'm about to go rob something. Y'all know me. I'm dangerous. Y'all know who said that. Mark Wunderlich, salute. I just haven't seen it. Maybe it exists. I haven't seen it. I'm just saying I haven't seen it. I'm not saying it don't exist. I'm saying I haven't seen it. I've been seeing these women have complete and total meltdowns. Now, what's unfortunate about what potentially might happen is because there are people that depend on SNAP, and they do work. They just don't make enough money to make the ends meet. Phenomenal Mexican, salute. They don't make enough money to make the ends meet, and they have to eat. They will be affected by this, and with these laws, and somebody always feels it. You understand what I'm talking about? Somebody always feels it, and it's never good. It's never good. But with that being said, the people that I see screaming and hollering about this, Mr. Shelton, salute. Shogun, salute. The people that I see screaming and hollering about this is usually women. Now I'm going to put the focus on our queens. In order to understand how you got here, you have to understand where you came from. and they're not gonna like this. Unique Dawn, salute. Hey, look, in order to understand how you got here, you gotta understand where you came from. Because by now, the women screaming and hollering, they've been born into a dysfunctional way of life, but it's normalized to them. To me, it's always been abnormal. Yeah, exactly, Joe Townsend. OnlyFans is going to make $1 billion by the end of this month and going into November, because that's what these strong, independent women are reduced to. We say, hey, man, why can't you work? Didn't they just spend the last 5 years saying that they're bosses and they don't need no man and everything else? Right? 704 Joe, salute. Tim TV, what up? Didn't they just get done telling us that for a few years? So what is this? Let me help you out. In order to understand how you got here, you got to understand where you came from. When bum behavior has become normalized, the government will remind you who the real boss is. Drew, what are you talking about? Well, I'll explain it. And I'm going to give you the accelerated version. You ready for this? You listening? Because y'all have heard this before. 1965. Y'all know where I'm going, right? Y'all know where I'm going. Oh yeah, phenomenal. I heard about that. I don't care about that. Yeah, I heard about that. Lada, salute. 1965. Where am I going? Where am I going with this? $1965. I'm gonna give you the accelerated version. You ready? Y'all sisters chose Uncle Sam as your husband instead of your black man. I did a show a couple of weeks ago. Kevin Samuels gave you that same history lesson. I already knew it, but no one's listening to my dumb self. But Kevin Samuels gave you the same history lesson. And y'all fought him, and y'all tried to debate him. And when he passed, y'all danced on his grave. But Charlie Kirk came through and gave you the exact same history lesson. The difference is he gave you no solutions. He says, this is why you are where you are, and that's why there's crime and no solutions at all. He just told you about yourself. And y'all said, well, that's true, Charlie. Mm-hmm. That's true, Charlie. Ninjas ain't ish, Charlie. Mm-hmm. Yep, no solution, though. Kevin Samuels, Mr. Tiptoe, salute. Kevin Samuels gave you a solution. Said, first of all, you got to embrace the black man. We do love you. But we're not going to put up with this disrespect. Then all of a sudden, y'all are bosses. You don't need no man. When we request certain things from you as a wife, we're sassy. Sign language, shame, insults, guilt, need to be right. Y'all hit us in the head with all of that. But in 65, you chose Uncle Sam as your husband instead of the black man. Here we are, 60 years later. And now y'all hate the government. This been your man for 60 years. And everyone complained it wasn't born in 65. Some were born in 75. Someone born in 85. By the time we got to 95, it became normalized. Who that is? That's just my baby daddy. I hated that song because that's not who we are supposed to be. Baby daddy. You know that's a disgusting term? To me it is. You can feel how you want to feel. But you see this, right? And Zaddy, Uncle Sam, Zaddy, now he's threatening to cut off your SNAP program. And now you talking about Trump and I hate the government. I'm about to go rob something. Y'all know me, I'm dangerous. Y'all finna do all of that. Right? I'm gonna ask y'all one more time. How many TikTok videos have you seen where men are complaining about Snap getting cut off and they're about to go looting? How many videos have you seen? I only see the women doing this. Now, I may have missed it, but I only see the women doing this. Why? Because y'all are reliant on Zaddy. And y'all been doing it since 65. Now you see, and you know, they might turn the government on right before November. You might not have anything to worry about, but this should be an eye-opener. This should be an eye-opener for y'all. Y'all bosses, right? How about boss chicks? You know what a real boss is? You want to know what a real boss is? Let me explain to you. What's the point in having knowledge and you can't share it and bring other people along with you? That is the community. That's the community. What's the point in being at the top and looking down if you ain't got brothers and sisters that you can help bring up with you? That's strength. When you got too many people looking up to you, you might have some resentment, and you got to be careful. Yeah, Mr. Tiptoe, I'm pro-marriage. There's a reason behind that. Because these only chicks complaining about this program, they're all single. If you let them tell it, there's something wrong with the person that they chose to procreate with. It's never them. It's always the person they chose. Not to say that they might be right, but again, why would you choose that person? It's always that. He's either dead or in jail, or he ain't ish, and he did this and did that, and it's like, yeah, you didn't know who he was when you laid down with him? Yeah, right. Oh, really? They already taking money out the 401k? Well, this is serious. This is serious. This is very serious, y'all. So we got women bossing up, threatening to loot. If you work in loss prevention, get ready. Get ready, because they're going to start shooting at you. They know you're unarmed, and they're going to fight for this. And these women have no... You know, these women, their thought process, when they have their mindset on doing something, they just do it. They're not worried about jail. They're online telling you they're going to commit a crime. They're telling you, I don't get my Snap. You already know what I'm going to do. Thank you, Otis. You can't blame me for getting sick for something you ate. Y'all dumped your husbands in 65. By the time you got to 85, it became normalized to schmooze off the government. And I'm not talking about white people. I'm holding my community accountable and saying, what up? I'm holding my community. I'm talking to the black woman. Because y'all shouldn't even be online talking this shit. You already beefed with us and we complied. We left y'all all the way alone. Y'all got Zaddy. Y'all got child support. There's dudes that are like, yo, I'm paying child support and they just upped it. I won't be able to pay my rent. Judge B, y'all see those Zoom courts? Hey, man, I'm going off of what the state says. This ain't personal. You got a raise last year. All right, so we got to up it $150. Judge, that $150 determines whether I pay my rent, keep my light on, pay my cell phone bill, and what I eat. I'm not gonna have any. I get visitation every Wednesday and Thursday. They ain't gonna have no place to go. Then she's gonna be back in court talking about he don't take advantage of visitation. I can't come sit with them in her house. Come on, I gotta pay my rent. Sorry, I'm going by what's in black and white. You know, I've known dudes while they're going through that bullshit, they never missed a child support payment, and sometimes they've lived out of their car. You know how they wash their ass? Gym memberships. They couldn't afford their rent. They kept their phone on. They literally lived out their car. They paid their car note, their insurance. They had no light, no gas. They were pretty much homeless. I'm like, where you staying? My car. You dead serious? Hey man, I'll be all right. Sometimes when it gets super cold, I'll do an overnight in a hotel. Bro, you really? Yep. I literally know a guy that was homeless for a month and a half. I mean, there was nothing I could do for him. I felt so bad. He said, I'm good, man. I said, well, what do you do? He said, every morning I go work out. I take a whole shower. I get ready for work because he wore a uniform. I go to work, 12-hour shift, get off work, go back to the gym, go work out, take another shower. I go sleep in my car. I got my phone. I got my at the time it was 4G. He said, I'm fine, bro. I go to Stop and Shop and I get my bag of salad. I got a bowl, a fork. I'm like, yo, where's your shit? He said, yeah, I put a lot of my shit in storage. Sometimes he went and stayed in the storage room a month and a half because of child support. His mother had to help him get a loan so he can go get an apartment, put money down. Luckily, he was working for the city. So he was able to show his pay stubs, so you can afford to live. He got himself a 2-bedroom, and he was able to have his kids come see him. But his wife didn't know. Told his wife, yeah, I'm gonna be staying with my mama, but he didn't want to stay at his parents' house, his mama house. And he came and got his kids and went to their grandma's house, and they didn't even know. I knew, and some close friends of mine, we knew. He was like, man, that's messed up. And he pleaded with the judge, hey, man, look, this bit of money right here, this is going to mess me up. I can't, I'm trying to conserve my credit, man. This is going to put me under. The judge kept saying, hey, right here in black and white, I'm sorry. It says here you make X amount of dollars, and I know you got to find a way. He never complained. He never cursed out baby mama, never cursed her out, nothing. He left the courtroom. I said, well, what did you do? He said, I sat in my car, I cried a little bit. He said, man, ain't no one gonna feel sorry for me. I don't want to go lay up under my mother's crib. His mother really didn't even know what was going on. He said when Derek Gaines, salute. He said when she called, just tell her I'm doing something and I'm going to tell him to call you. And he said she would call me and I'll call her right away. Homeless for like about 6 weeks. Didn't complain of anything. And he just made it happen. Happy ending. That was a few years ago. He since bought a house and he's fine now, but he was in a rough spot at that point. And you would have never known. Look, we're men. Nobody's gonna feel sorry for us. They expect us to perform. That's it. Xavier, what up? They expect us to perform. That's it. That's it. Uncle Sam came in and did a great job. He said, this is how we're gonna do. This is another thing we're gonna do to ruin the black people. We're going to bust up their household. And it's on record, white household, Asian household, Jewish household. If the household is busted up, the probability of the kids in that situation is going to come up really bad. We have generations of some of these chicks being taught how to depend on the government. This country awards women for divorce. They award women. Now, let me say this. Sometimes, I'm not saying all divorce is unjust. I'm not saying that. Some marriages need to be just dealt with. But y'all know the type of divorces I'm talking about. Irreconcilable differences divorce, which never made sense to me. kick the man out of the place where now get this, he's the main breadwinner. He's making $75,000 a year. She's making 40. The house was in his name. She moved in it. After 7 years of marriage, irreconcilable differences. She's just not happy. The judge don't want to hear, oh, well, I do everything and I pay this and I do that and she don't love me anymore. Mr. Johnson, how much do you make? Well, I make $75,000 a year. Okay. Well, she's used to living a certain way. And the government says that kids are more better with their mothers, which is BS. Because men who raise their children, the children, either a two-parent household or a single male household, the children turn out better. More and more I'm seeing these TikTok videos of these women arguing with their kids. Usually it's women and their daughters when their daughters are turning 13, 14. It just gets crazy. So in other words, you got to get out, but you still got to pay for the rent and the cable and, you know, alimony in some cases and child support. So where you was just paying the mortgage or the rent, you was paying about $2,000. Now you got to get out, and now you got to pay maybe $2,500, and you got to find some place else to live. So that's $2,500 over here, and now you got to pay another $2,000 of rent. And now your kids are because you got to take care of your kids, and now you got to take care of that woman that just decided she don't want to be with you anymore. And now you got to eat ramen noodles and risk your health. Bill D, salute. Risk your health because you're eating ramen all night, because that's all you can afford, ramen noodles and cereal. But you got to make sure your kids eat. Now that brother might be relying on SNAP. He might be relying on SNAP. And now he won't be able to get that. And he's the one that got shafted. You see what I'm talking about? Some people who don't deserve this are going to feel it. But all these chicks that I see on TikTok and every place else, they're having these meltdowns. They're actually telling you they're about to commit a damn crime. And what I'm saying is this is generations of you stupid ass women accepting Uncle Sam as your zaddy. This is what we meant. Your husband may not have had the best job in the world, but he made something happen. Yeah, pinball player, I saw that. It's disgusting. But the government will say that the children are better off with the mother. And that is an absolute farce. It's a farce. A lot of these men that they come on here cussing and screaming about, they're good dudes. They're good dudes. The problem is they didn't know who they impregnated. That's the problem. They always tell me, oh man, no, he switched. He wasn't like that when I met him. No, you switched. A woman can get bored and get divorced. Or if you're never married, but somehow you got some kids, you relying on SNAP. Here's what I want to know. How long have these women been on SNAP? Did they ever work? Were they laid off? If you've been on SNAP for more than 5 years, what's going on? And I'm not talking about I'm working, I just need this to make the ends meet. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about why you on SNAP for 6 years. And in those 6 years, you had another baby and you're not married. And somehow, some of these chicks don't even have the kid on. They're not even getting, some of these chicks are not even getting child support. They don't know who it is. They don't know who the father is. Which is it's mind-blowing in itself. Y'all really, y'all know what I'm talking about. I mean, it's all there. Y'all remember last summer? The chicks that went away on those hot girl summers, the hot girl boat rides. and they had unprotected sex and they were doing a reveal in the bathroom with the sticks and all of them were pregnant? Who the hell are they going to hit up for child support? You know who pays for that? How many of y'all work? How many of y'all pay taxes? Y'all must have forgot. Salute. This is not, Snoop, what up? This is not free money. It's coming from somewhere. And the reality is, if you ladies were a lot more responsible, you wouldn't be in this mess. Now, I'm not talking about the women that literally are working and they're trying to find a way and they say, yo, look, I'm gonna need an extra $100 at the end of the month for groceries. I'm not talking about them. Unfortunately, they fall under the umbrella of dysfunction. You know why I'm not worried about SNAP? Because I'm not on it. I'm not on it. Not. Here's the mind fuck. These chicks will get on Kendra G's show and you want a man making X amount of money, he has to look a certain way, but you on SNAP. You on SNAP. I know they are. You on here looking for a boyfriend, but you on SNAP. And now you're going to fix your mouth to cuss out Zaddy when he's been taking care of you since 1965? Where the fuck did you think this money was coming from? And now y'all talking about, oh, I'm going to go rob something? Man, listen. Y'all all voted. Y'all spoke with your votes. The Latinos, y'all spoke. I will vote for Donald Trump. And what happened? The woman that was literally singing that, they deported her husband. I'm like, what is wrong with y'all? Why do y'all act like y'all don't know who this dude is? The farmers are kicking themselves in the ass. Do y'all know? I don't want to get too deep into it because a lot of y'all don't understand. Just know this. The farmers, majority of them are white. They had no business voting for this guy. They had no business voting for this guy. Well, they did it again. You want to talk about being on code? They said, hey, man, you know, we just don't want that N-word female in office. Fine, man. Fine. You put your brethren in the office. And he's cutting deals, I heard, with Argentina. Is that true? For meat? Something, is that true or was that AI? Y'all got a soybean crisis. He's working with China. What happened to Make America Great Again? What happened to that? Where's my brother Trill Will? What happened to that? Make America Great Again, but y'all understand what happened with those damn tariffs? Y'all understand now why that was stupid? Nothing is made in America. You know what's made in America? Nothing. It's shipped here and we assemble the damn product and then ship it out. He raised the goddamn tariffs, literally shot yourself in the foot. Now we got a soybean problem. The farmers are pissed off. I don't want to get too deep, but y'all voted for, this is exactly what you voted for. Jay from Round the Way, salute. This is exactly what you voted for. So what do I always say? Mac of the South, salute. What do I always say? Don't cry later. Do not cry later. You see? I didn't vote for him. Let me ask you a question. How many of these queens went to the polls? And I'm not talking about their local strip poll, because that's where they're headed. OnlyFans, Divine Photo, salute. OnlyFans is going to be popping in November. Watch. How many of them went to the polls and actually knew what they were voting for? How about this? For every one man, there's about 8 women on this planet. There's more women in the United States than there is men. Why the WNBA ain't popping? I don't know, but I guess that's our fault too. Y'all see all the shit. They blaming us for that. The shit failing. The WNBA been on welfare. We ain't got nothing to do with that. Y'all need to be at the games. What are we talking about here? Oh yeah, Abdullah. Come on. That's the game. He want his friends to buy that prop. Man, come on, bro. Come on, man. Like I said, brother, I don't want to get too deep. But all of this, women have the numbers. Y'all, that's what I'm saying, Divine Photos. They don't even support the product. The WNBA should be a sellout in every city. All the women got to do is what? Show up. They don't show up. There's more women at an NBA game than a WNBA. I've got the power. Y'all need to be singing that all over the place. Y'all got the numbers. What's going on? Y'all beefing about Snap. I thought y'all were bosses. What I was saying before, I got like distracted. But when I was making a point about bosses, you know what a boss does? A boss brings people up. It's called mentorship. You know what a good coach is? A good coach can take a mediocre team and make them great. A teaching style. They identify, the coach identifies with the players, and the players buy into what he's selling. And it translates on a football field, on a basketball court, a baseball field, in the boxing ring. But watch this. A superior coach can produce other coaches with the same thought process. You understand? How many coaches do you know? We say, man, yeah, man, you're real good, man. Oh yeah, I learned from so-and-so. Oh, that's a Hall of Fame coach. What you mean you learned from him? Yeah, that's where I got my ideology. And spreads it like a great plague, a good plague. If that makes any sense to you. Why don't these boss chicks reach down to the chick on Snap and say, no, queen. What you need to do, first of all, stop getting pregnant. Close your legs. You see where I'm at over here? Let me show you how I did it, but you're gonna have to sacrifice. First of all, you got to get off that internet and twerking and minding other people's business and fighting with strangers online. Stop doing that. You're gonna have to sacrifice. With the kids in school, you got to get up and go grind. I give classes. I could hook you up with some classes. You don't even got to pay, baby. But you see what I'm doing here? I'm making X amount of money a month. I can show you how to do it. How many of these boss bitches reaching back and doing that? You know why they're not doing that? Guess why? You remember a long time ago, I did a show and I asked, are women really frenemies? These bitches are too much in competition with each other. The boss chicks that are not on Snap, they're like, oh, well, how's that for the sisterhood? And you know what else they'll say? How I look helping them. Y'all know bitches is haters. I'll call for a Zoom class. They'll be all late. They'll have bonnets on. They ain't gonna take this serious. Did you even try, sister? Did you even try? Whenever anybody hit me up behind the scenes when they were building a channel, 100%, I tell them I'm not an expert, but this is what I did. There's a formula to what I did. And I helped them. And I tell them, hey, hopefully you just take off. Case in point, Theo Coop, the Do Better podcast, Do Better Squad, salute to them. I remember when Theo barely had 700 subs and he just kept popping up on my algorithm. I said, let me see what this brother's talking about. He's a reaction channel. There was a lot of them, but there was something special about him. So I watched his stuff and I just started participating in the chat. And then I remember his first live. It was a train wreck, but I was there. He wasn't even monetized, but I was there. I'm like, salute, Theo, keep grinding, bub, 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 bub. And sometime later, he had a viral moment, and look at him now. He got that YouTube placard, over 100,000 subs, and he's making a decent living at this. And I'm so proud of that brother. That's how we're supposed to help one another. How come all these boss chicks aren't reaching down and saying, yo, sisters, get off this Snap. Stop sucking on the empty nipple of Zaddy. Get your own. But you know what Zaddy convinced you? He still convinced you that the black man is the problem. Uncle Sam gave you everything and told you that we're the problem. Now, in 1 month, they told me, hey, man, we ain't going to be paying for your shit for a while until we work this out. And y'all talking about robbing Walmart? And you're incriminating yourself online? I promise you, there is no way you can blame black men for this shit. No way. This is going to be, I'm telling you, man, all you got to do is wait and just watch. If this happens, and I hope they work this out by November, but if this happens, you're going to be, and I'm not wishing it on anybody, but you're going to be seeing women getting put in jail, women getting beaten by law enforcement, women getting, blickety. They're going to start treating them like who? Like men. And this is how they always wanted to treat y'all. They needed a reason. Just give me a reason. That's what they wanted. They wanted a reason to start blicking y'all off, like how they treat us. And you know what y'all going to be screaming about? How come y'all don't protect black women? Well, we wanted you. We wanted to marry you. We wanted to take care of you. Due to the economy, there's usually not a situation where a man is making enough money that he can support a woman in a family where he's the only breadwinner. Usually that's not the case. Not everybody could be a supreme influencer. Not everybody could have a six-figure job. If you are, you're blessed. But usually, and plus, these modern women, they do want to work. If you find a wife and she wants to work, let her work. Not every chick is greedy and say, oh no, what's mine is mine and what his is mine. No, not everyone does that. Y'all budget the money. But since 65, they convinced you that that's not the way to go. The economy, cost of living has gone up. Pay has stayed steady. Now, to the women that's been on Snap for more than 5 years, you couldn't get no job. You couldn't, whatever city you work in, if you lived in New York, you couldn't take a civil service exam and do something When I say civil service exam, you know, city jobs, they're everywhere. Some of them don't require education. They require you to have like a certificate. You got to take a course in Excel or something. And they're like, okay, you qualify. You get on there, you work for a year, you pass probation, you're permanent. You're entitled to a pension plan, salary, retirement, benefits. It's not the most money, but hell, you ain't going to have to be on SNAP. What's the matter? Y'all don't want to work? Exactly, Mansa Musa. Yeah, November. Psh, Uncle Sam gonna be on some victory. Good night. What you finna do? Let me share this screen. I want y'all to listen to this. Listen to this.
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the fuck off for November. Y'all better stay the fuck out of my way in these stores. I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for shit.
Now look, man. Look. Her hair's done. Y'all know her hair's done, right? And I don't know if she did those eyelashes herself or I don't know what's going on. It looked like she might have on a little makeup, so she's well kept. And I'm gonna roll the dice and say she has more than one child, and she's not married. And if it's more than one father, neither one of those dudes are around because she's talking about SNAP. Now she's talking about she finna rob something. And when she get caught and is sitting in front of a judge, all they gotta do is play this video. Do you know this might be the first time in history there'll be an influx of black women in the prison system in droves? Look, man.
Trump, if you want motherfuckers start looting, what's gonna happen? Before my kids go broke in this bitch like Jock, I'm gonna be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow.
Who paid for those tattoos on the right side of her body? Which should be your left. Tattoos on her shoulder up to her neck. You don't want your kids to starve. I'm just curious. Maybe you got a job, but you know what? People that got a job, they're not beefing about this. I would love to interview all of these chicks going ham like this. I just have a question. Why are you not working? How long have you been out of work? How long have you been out of work? This is real shit. Because people have gotten way too comfortable sitting at home and just not working. And I'm talking about them because they're how many videos did you see dudes doing this? Y'all remember the chick with 7 kids and I think 7 different baby daddies? And she was on TikTok trolling, wasn't she? About to go out and look for my 8th baby daddy. And she was just dancing it up. Remember that? Remember that? You know what was interesting about that? Her oldest son. I'll never forget this. Her oldest son, she taught him how to milk the system. And let me tell you what the problem is. When this woman pointed at her refrigerator, what did you see on the top of her refrigerator? I saw a box of Doritos and multi-flavored potato chips. You know what I noticed about Snap? You ever wonder why these kids are walking around at 12 years old looking like George Foreman when he came back, came out of retirement with the bald head? Kids be 12 years old looking like the old George Foreman. That's diet. Look at this woman. That's diet, or lack thereof. And that woman, her oldest son, when she said, yeah, I taught my son, Jeff Sparks, salute. I taught my son how to do exactly what mama doing. Ain't that right, son? And he said, I get all of my chips and my fruit snacks from. And I said, hold on. Why he talking like his mother? You see that? Now, I'm not saying he a homo, but his mannerisms was like who? The person that raised him. And you want to tell me that a father's influence is not important? His mannerisms was like his mother. And his head was doing like this. I get all my snacks. I get my fruit snacks. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Y'all see this? Y'all don't, what is this? So it's bad enough your mama taught you how to milk the system and be a bum, because ain't no chick gonna want a dude like that. Look, when I say that these women are raising these lifeless, spineless jellyfish men, there's gonna be some women looking for men like, yo, where the good men at? And they see him. They might say, yeah, he handsome and all, but he's too sassy. And when I asked him what he did for a living, he just stared at me like I was crazy. I mean, he got a high school diploma or a GED. And why he got all those dots on his face and acne? You know why? Not a vegetable in the freezer. They're eating gushers and drinking quarter waters that are now 75 cents. Can you believe that shit? They were called quarter waters when I was a kid for a reason. And sure, they're gonna be like, yeah, when I was talking to him, it was like talking to one of my girlfriends. Cause my head doing this and his head doing this. Not lying. I watched it. I said, yo, what? Y'all don't see this? Never mind her. She a bum. And she raising bum kids. She's a bum. And bums like that always find dudes that, oh, that's an easy lay. I'm just going to smash and pass. None of those fathers are around. She was collecting like, what was it, like $3,000 a month? It was something crazy. I forgot the amount. It was something crazy. She was collecting a lot of money because she had a lot of kids. Listen, in the 90s, when I was coming up and figuring things out, when you go to a woman's house and she got kids, she's a single mother, right? There was things that she always had in the crib. She always had fruit snacks. She always had goodies like fruit snacks, the juices and the potato chips, and she always had that. You look in her fridge, she rarely had a balanced meal. She had some steaks frozen, probably some hamburgers somewhere, some chicken. She never had fresh vegetables. It's like, what the hell's happening in here? And it's gotten progressively worse. You go inside these chicks. I just watched this other, who saw this clip of this overweight sister, and I'm being very respectful. And I don't know why they think it's a flex to get on your social media and start, Quiet Storm Salute, my brother, opening up their boxes of goodies. And it's like, yo, you opening this shit and you looking like Jabba the Smut. You the color of my Slipknot shirt and you got a blonde wig on your head. And why are you opening up a box of Doritos? What are you showing me? Eat a carrot, stupid. What's wrong with you? And all of your kids, your children, are fat and fucked up looking like you. You're an F bag. Some dude just chose to get his willy wet, and his pullout game is trash. And you're done. You're done. And these are the chicks talking about where my snap at. Well, snap your shit into shape and go get a job. And these chicks be like in their late 20s. How are you not working? That's just my question. Some people can't. Some people got like, I don't know, they got, some people really have, conditions. I'll say that. But when you talking about, this eye blinks faster than the other one, I'm not hearing you. You know why? If your adult parts work, then you can work. I'm so sick of people reproducing, but then you talking about, oh, my body's broken. I'm so sick of that. How your dick work, man? How is this possible? Nah, you right, Mac of the South. A lot of these women, they can't cook. It's all pre-cooked meals. Pass me the Velveeta, the instant mac and cheese. They can't make real mac and cheese. Pass me the instant mac and cheese. Get me some pork sausage, and get me the canned spinach filled with sodium. And you grow up on a steady diet of that bullshit, man. Thank you, Quiet Storm. I was just talking about the tax dollars before you pulled up, brother. Yes. Because they just think that this shit is free. And now, see, listen, y'all. Welfare was supposed to be temporary. They put you up in this public housing, right? They put you up in there. They pay for your light, your gas, whatever, and they make sure you don't starve and you don't freeze in the winter. But you are of able mind and body. You're supposed to get out and get some work. And what did these bastards do? F the work. You have generations of families living in the projects. Trust me, I know this. Yo, I might be blowing somebody up, but I know somebody right now, my age, lives in the same apartment, a 3-bedroom apartment in the projects, right? His parents lived there, and before that, his grandparents lived in there. They died, right? No, they moved to the South, left it to the parents, and that's where old boy grew up at. Now, his parents, his mom, his parents divorced, mom moved out of state, dad moved somewhere else, and now he got it. Don't ask me how it's working, but he got to be stacking paper. You know why? Because he lives there by himself in a 3-bedroom, and he keeps it immaculate. But it's the projects. The rent is like $5. I don't know. And he worked for sanitation. I don't know how he wasn't found out yet, but he's been living there for like 20 years, like by himself. He got a lot of space, but it's the projects. I know his rent, no cap. Dude is knocking on 6 figures, and I know his rent like $500. I know that. But brother, why are you there? He better have, by the time he retire, he better have a strong 6 figures. He better be able to up and take your pension, leave the state, find the state where your pension could grind the hardest, and go move to that state and take your money and buy a house outright. That's how you do it. Hen dog salute. That's how you do it. But whatever, I'm gonna mind my business. but chicks just out loud about it. I got my snacks. I got this and I got that and I got this and I got that. Now Zaddy's like, yo, y'all ain't gonna have shit for the month of November. And y'all running around blaming Democrats and Republicans, blaming the Democrats, but the Republicans got the House. Oh man, y'all love the government when y'all take baby daddy to court and baby daddy got to go live in his car. You don't give a damn about that because, you know, it's called child support, not punishment for your failed relationship, but whatever. And then, Judd, what up? Then he told you, y'all got to stop having abortions. And y'all had a meltdown, didn't y'all? Because now he telling you what to do with your kitty cat. Remember that? He told you what to do with your kitty cat. Y'all got mad. Don't get mad at me. They got mad, didn't they? They got mad, right? What can I tell you? I knew then, Amina, salute. Oh, yeah. But you know what? You're right. You know what? You know what the problem is? This fight, as a country, we should be well enough off that this shouldn't bother us right away. But the only people I see screaming about this are these ratchet ass chicks. And if y'all can find a man that's got it on TikTok talking about I'm about to go rob something if this don't fix itself by November, send it to me, please. Why I'm seeing only the women doing this? And to you sisters, y'all did this. 1965, remember, it's literally 60 years later. And y'all mad? Man, listen. I ain't got nothing to do with it. I ain't vote for this dude. Man, y'all been losing. I'm not talking about all the women. I'm talking about the women that were loud and proud. I'm talking about the women that danced on Kevin Samuel's grave when he said, yo, black women, y'all need to get with black men. Let me tell you something. If you had a man in your house, more than likely, you wouldn't be on Snap. You wouldn't have to worry about that. Because that man will make sure he'll feed the family. And I don't mean by illegal means. Illegal means. You a boss. You don't need no man. Why you worried about the... I'm going to check OnlyFans. I'm going to see how many of these bitches pull their boobs out. Dragon Fang, salute. So let's go back to this rabbit animal right here.
I am going to go in that store, get everything I get regularly. I'm going to bag my shit up, swipe my link card. As soon as that bitch say, ain't no pending balance on there, I'm going to walk the fuck out. And I'm going to have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your ass so hard, you going to think a Jet 2 holiday hit your bitch ass.
I pause that. Look at her face. She means what she's saying. Let me tell you something. When I was younger, I was a college student and I was working in security part-time. Ain't nobody punching me in my face when I did loss prevention. You know how many people I knocked out for stealing bullshit? I just tell you, you gotta get back inside, bro. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take your name. This is only about $10 worth of shit. I'm gonna take your name and take your picture, and you're gonna leave. I ain't going nowhere. No, you're going back inside. I ain't going nowhere. And put your hands up. You know how many teeth I've knocked out? Boom! Boom, boom, boom! Bitch, you about to get your cousin killed. If you come across a security guard like how I was in the 90s, you gonna get that nigga killed. It's not gonna be about Snap. You're gonna get that nigga killed. Seriously. Now you see, there's another thing I don't like. These sisters They get niggas killed. Now, I want you to picture. Let me paint this picture for you. I just said we might be in a place in history where you're gonna see a lot of women go to prison over theft and just fighting with cops, and they ain't gonna play with y'all. They're gonna George Floyd you. Over what? I was just trying to feed my kids. And you know what that judge is gonna do? When that public defendant comes to speak on your behalf, and the state asks, well, Bone Quisha, your snap was declined. That didn't mean to steal, but out of curiosity, how long was you on snap? Right. 5 years? You couldn't find no work in 5 years? You do know snap is supposed to be temporary, right? Not lifetime. This bitch ain't on disability. If she could do all of that and say all of that, she can't work? Think about what I'm saying. Exactly, Quiet Storm. That 1993 crime bill, remember that? Yeah. To her cousin, I don't care how big you are, homie, she gonna get you killed. And you ain't on snap. Don't stand in the pocket for her. Let her do her own shit. Let her punch the security guard that he feel he on a Jet 2 holiday. I ain't scared to tell you, the worst people that I had to stop trying to leave a store for stealing shit were the women. And they ain't win no fights because they started. And it turned from stop, don't do that to me defending myself. And I don't care how big and fat you are, I ragdoll your ass. I will ragdoll your ass. You're still a woman. Literally had a bitch that was 6'3". She had to be about 330 pounds. She thought she was gonna muscle me. No, ragdoll. I said, get back inside. I just want to recover the stuff you have underneath those 8 boobs you have on the left side of your body. Get out of my way, nigga. Get back inside. Yeah, I will bow. And she started balling up her fist. I said, yeah, go ahead. Go right ahead. Told her, I said, I'm going to eat that punch. I'm going to hit your back. You're not going to like it. And before, I couldn't even finish the sentence because she did hit me. Punched me right in the face. Boom. Take up. What they say in the Digital Underground song? If you hit me, then I hit your back. You smack me and I'll smack you back. I knocked her silly. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. First one's for free. You better sleep. You better sleep me. Cocked her hand back and you hear all the jewelry. She had bangles and rings. Hit me right here. I rolled it. All right, bitch. Boom! Punched her into a goddamn tornado. Spun out, hit the floor. Then all of a sudden it's, she is a woman! I will punch you and you, because I'm on a roll right now. And they stood there and they, yeah. When she wakes up, maybe I'll accept the apology. Yes, I did. I knocked her ass right out. I recovered the items. The police came because she had shit that I didn't even see her take off the camera. When she woke up, she was in handcuffs. Crying. Yeah. Smoking talk. Real Baltimore in the building. Goddamn right. Don't fucking touch me. I don't care who you are. I just told y'all. I've had fights at the door with men. But the women thought they can get that off. No, I ragdolled them. But they hit me first. I knocked that big, she was bigger than me. I knocked that big bitch unconscious. You bugging. Don't touch me. Do not touch me. You bugging. Just drop the stuff and leave. Yo, real talk, I ain't even want to do that paperwork. All right, I caught you. Just give it back and leave. Just go. Get out of here. No, they really trying to fight you. Not a good idea. I'm 6'2" now. That bitch was like about 6'4", because she punched down. Slept her. Then all of a sudden, her two friends scream, "She's a woman. Why would you?" I was like, and they shut right up. Do not catch these hands. She's unconscious. Y'all are regular size. Do not. Don't fucking touch me. And you were stealing. And guess what? They still got off light. Because I'm telling you right now, this right here, y'all saying Trump name? Listen, man, you think he won't call the dogs on y'all and say, yo, look, all of these are the people that were flash robbing to begin with. I refuse to allow these mobsters make this a shithole country. Y'all do what y'all have to do to protect your damn stores. And you're going to see these store owners. Yeah, somebody going to get shot, y'all. I'm just going to say it. Somebody's going to get shot, and it's not going to be funny. I'm laughing because I'm very uncomfortable about this. Somebody's going to die. If they getting riled up by this animal right here, please don't. Because she talking real big. She ain't going to do shit. As soon as I heard her say, oh, I'm going to get my cousin to do... No. Homie, whoever you are, I'm sure you've seen this by now because everybody has played this. I hope you sitting down like, I hope she don't mean me. November 2nd. Fuquan, let's go shopping. Nope. You know you ain't got no goddamn money on that card. The government down. What the fuck? You gonna steal some shit and I'm supposed to get shot or get put in jail? For you? How many times I told y'all? How many men are dead or in jail over a woman's bullshit? Any one of her male cousins, her male relatives should be like, yo, she can't call me. Where we going? We going to Walmart. No, you going to Walmart. I'm not going in there with you. I already know what you finna do. Do it by yourself. Oh, yeah, bro. Yeah, Monta Musa. Yeah, I got some stories. Whenever you was doing security, when I was bouncing at the clubs, the worst ones were the women. The worst, man. Y'all don't stop until you get... They don't stop. They just keep going. It's like, yo, what? Your wig is over there. You done broke off 4 nails. Why are you still fighting? What is wrong with you? Go away. Subscribe to my Patreon. I'm going to talk about that. You hoes is crazy. But look at this hoe. Look at her face. How the hell is your hair done and your eyelashes done? I know that's about $100. You talk about snap.
If you think I ain't finna walk out that stuff. And please follow me to that motherfucking car. If you feeling motherfucking froggy, bitch, you ain't gonna make it back to your motherfucking position at that fucking Walmart store.
That's exactly why I knocked that bitch out. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? You do know she's admitting to a crime, right? That she, if she does something and gets caught, you know she just a crime. You think she cares? This is emotional right here. All that fast talking, yo, don't touch me. Yo, get off me. Yo, I'll knock you. I'll fuck you up. I'm like, bitch, you better back up. Go away. No, just drop the shit. I know you got, drop it and you can leave. You ain't gonna do nothing. Drop it and leave. You ain't gonna do nothing. Yo, I'm like, yo, don't do that. You better not. She hit me. Hit her back. 1 punch. I Saitama her ass because she was sleeping, snoring and everything. And her fucking friends got so scared when they put their hands up, all the shit they had fell out onto the floor. They couldn't go nowhere. You know why? The car outside, Big Bertha was the driver. And when she woke up, she was sitting up in handcuffs. It was all on video. She hit me first. She's like, well, what happened? Police got there. What happened? I knocked her out. Well, what happened? Well, she hit me. It's on video. She hit me. She hit me once. I hit her back. Good sleep. So she means what she says.
I'm telling you. You want to take some link? Like, I don't be taking shit already.
You heard that? Listen.
Like, I don't be taking shit already.
So she already steals. She already steals. You feel me? She already steals. Dudes, let me tell y'all something. Stop knocking up these broads. Stop. Can you imagine what kind of mother she is? You trying to go get your son. You got to deal with that. Stop, man. Y'all need to stop.
This government shutdown is no doubt going to impact everyday Americans, and it is the fault of the Democrats that we are in this position. And I know I relayed some programs that will be impacted. The vice president did as well, but I just want to make sure the American public understand what the Democrats have done to our government and our country. 1.3 million active duty troops will work now without pay. Critical food assistance for low-income women, infants, and children will now lapse. No new mothers or children are allowed to join this critical program because of the Democrats' decision to shut down the government. Telehealth services for seniors and in-home treatment options for Medicare patients will now come to an end. Nearly 50,000 members of the United States Coast Guard are going to have to work unpaid. Over 13,000 air traffic controllers will work without pay, as well as TS.
Speaking of Jet 2 holiday, who is safe flying after hearing that shit? And then I heard when they go back to work, there ain't gonna be no back pay. So wherever they live, what are you gonna do? Tell your landlord, hey man, or tell the mortgage company, Wells Fargo or whatever, JP Morgan, hey, I work for the government. They ain't paying me. I'm going to work, but they ain't paying me. Yeah, that's good, Mr. Smith, but you know what? I need my money. Everybody else is getting paid but you, and I feel sorry. I see the news, but I need my money. And if you don't pay me by the end of next month, you got to go. Do y'all understand why it's important you vote? Y'all get it now? I know a lot of people say, I'm going to stay my ass home. Well, okay. Hope you're not on Snap.
Good night.
You understand?
TSA agents which will very likely create flight disruptions, and pay will now stop for over 150,000 federal law enforcement officers. These are not just numbers and statistics. These are real Americans who have families at home. And I saw some Democrat members today saying they're still going to accept their paychecks because they have 3 kids at home and they have mouths to feed. Well, so do these federal workers who those same Democrats just voted to shut down the government and turn off their pay. And we believe that's very unfair, and it's why the administration wants to see the government reopened.
Look, man. There's blood on her hands too, man. Please stop. There's blood on Republicans' hands. I just told y'all about the Republicans and the tariffs and all this other dumb shit. Just told y'all about that. And now these assholes can't agree. And 150,000 people are not employed. They're not making any money. How is this helping? All of this is related. But keep it simple, man. Why are y'all sisters talking about looting Walmart? Go to work. Talk to the boss bitches that you idolize and say, well, look, how did you do that? I'm really going to be paying attention to that OnlyFans. During the pandemic, there was really no boxing. And I remember hearing an audio clip of Michelle Joy Phelps talking about, man, we're laid off because there's nothing to talk about sports related because we're in this pandemic and people are not outside. There's no sports. And she was hating on Trill Boxing Talk, which there was no boxing to talk about every morning. So it was just them. And they were doing such numbers and people gave a shit. We gave a shit about what Black Fight Fan and CC and 78 had to say every morning. And the people that were like on ESPN and that had real jobs with real media, these motherfuckers was like, man, I don't know how the hell they getting all this distraction on the internet. I went to such and such and I got paid. You know, I have a degree in journalism. Yeah, you have a degree in journalism and you haven't done a lick of real journalism yet because you're lying all over the goddamn place. But that's another topic. And I remember Michelle Joy Phelps literally said, I might as well just start, getting naked online or something. And I think that was OnlyFans in its infancy. I don't know how long OnlyFans has been around, but that's what she said. And I said, wow, this is what women have over men. No dude can say, hey man, I'm gonna go get naked on OnlyFans. I mean, you can, but you know who's gonna be looking at you? Not other women. Women don't do the OnlyFans thing. They don't watch men on OnlyFans. You know who watches men on OnlyFans? Other men. So if you don't mind dudes looking at you just for some money, do you, bro. But sheesh. But you ladies, there's somebody, whether you're young and ripe or you're old and saggy, you get out of bed tripping over your titties, somebody will watch you. And you just need to get through the next to New Year's, because this is not, if it happens, it's not going to fix itself. We're approaching the holidays. And things are about to get real bad. And dudes that are in loss prevention in these stores, I'm telling you, these owners of the mom and pop stores, they're going to be on some, it's kill or be killed. You ain't going to rob me. I ain't going to go in a hole because your ass, your snap ain't hit and your ass is lazy. You come in my mom and pop store, I'm going to defend it. And guess what? The law enforcement motherfuckers, they ain't going to want to deal with you either. Because some of them, you heard what she just said? The federal law enforcement are not getting paid. The police is like, yeah, I don't want to even answer this anymore. Y'all going to be getting blicked off. Get a job, you bums. Y'all did this. Now you ladies hate the government. Y'all accepted his hand in marriage in 1965 and told the black man, go to hell, we don't need you. Look at you now. There are households right now that are not the wealthiest, but if they're married, they're not on Snap. They have each other. Marriage is about the teamwork. That's all I ever said. What did KS say? Y'all can love each other later, but we get together because we need each other. And if we combined our resources and raised the black household, we wouldn't be worried about Snap. You leave it up to these airhead birds. What are they going to tell us? Oh, but dudes are sassy. And sassy is code for them not wanting to conform to what you want them to be. Because what you want is not what you need. You wanted big old Pookie from the club? Guess what you got? You got that. But he's not a good dude. You see how that works? So you got that sexual healing that you said you wanted. You got that fast life for a little while, but he's not a good dude. And he left you hanging. And you're on Snap. Well, government about to snap into you like a Slim Jim. That's all I got. I got a lot to do tomorrow. I might not be live in the AM. I'll make that decision in a few minutes. I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do tomorrow. Matter of fact, tomorrow's Wednesday. I might not be live for the rest of the week because I'm a man and nobody feels sorry for me, and I have a family and I handle my biz. So if I don't go live, I will do side videos. You know what I mean? Or I might, you know how I do, I might pop up in the car or whatever. But whatever, man. But we grind nonetheless. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me, man. Got a lot more pep talk to talk about. I just got a lot going on. Thursday for sure I'm not gonna be live. Go subscribe to my Patreon and go subscribe to Bed Cave Entertainment. Let me put that in the chat for you. That's my third channel, ladies and gentlemen. That's my third channel, ladies and gentlemen. Let's run the numbers up there. This is Bed Cave Entertainment. It's Bed Cave Entertainment. That is the link. Go subscribe. I'm at 398 right now. 398 subs. Let's see if we can get me to 405. I'm trying to get 500 subs before New Year's. Let's do the work. Let's work because all we got is us. You know what I'm saying? That's my nerd channel, by the way, but I'll triple cast all my stuff on all my channels because you never know when YouTube's going to act funky like a chick stink box. But this is my nerd channel. You know, I got a lot going on there. I've gotten back to uploading my workout videos again. But that's going to come to a pause for a little bit. I got a lot going on, family. I got a lot going on. You know, getting older sucks, but thank God that you have insurance to take care of things that aren't working properly. So, yeah. But I'm definitely going to be around. I might do a live tomorrow, but Thursday and Friday, I'm not going to be around. Not going to be around. I got a whole lot to do, but I appreciate y'all for rocking with your boy. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to all three of my channels. Go subscribe to the Patreon. Go subscribe to the Patreon. Go subscribe to the Patreon. Feel me? I'm going to do the show about being poly. I'm going to do that show. I'm trying to get a guest on there. It's definitely going to be for Patreon. You can't put it on YouTube because, you know, Jerome and Miguel are mad that I'm not into them. They want a big old buff dude like me spooning with them, but I don't get down like that. You know what I'm saying? Del Rev, nah, I'm cool. I'm cool. It's just maintenance shit. It's just maintenance, you know? But thank God we're in the age of technology where we can take care of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't rely on the government for shit. I'll get out and go get it. And if they ever take it from me, I'll make a way. Because I'm that damn sharp. You feel me? So salute to y'all. And again, y'all make sure you go subscribe to my Patreon. Y'all go subscribe to Bed Cave Entertainment. And we rocking and rolling, baby. I appreciate every last one of you, man. Stay blessed.
The Painful Excellence Podcast.